Welcome to Come Back with Erica Cobb, uniting a community of folks just like yourselves who are getting ready and staying ready for their next chapters. Can we just take a breather now, people? Because after one of the most divisive weeks in social media since Taylor and Kanye, it has become abundantly clear that while some of you were definitely born with the a-hole gene, most of you were not. So before the latter of you start running all around the internet, losing little pieces of yourselves, let me give you a little pep talk for how to coexist with an a-hole without them getting you out of character. Because that is something I definitely know just a little bit about. Let's start with the golden rule. Never ever play somebody else's game unless you know all the rules. In other words, do not try to out a-hole an a-hole. You will never win. They have the experience on their side, and they also have the time because their people know about them too, and they don't want to be around them either. So with time and experience, you trying to out a-hole an a-hole is only going to end up with them on the MVP list, and you are going to be riding the bench. Or worst off, you're going to end up in IR. And some of you look like you have a one-way ticket to injured reserve. Don't try to play their game. Use your own strength and beat them with that. You'll win far easier that way. Little known fact, a-holes are often giving you their playbook. You just have to learn to read the route. It's very difficult to be crazy and guarded at the same time. So a lot of times their demonstrative ways are leaving their weaknesses exposed. I remember some time ago, I had a colleague that I used to work with who was a self-proclaimed a-hole. And he used to come at me. And finally I realized he just wants me to care. Like, he was so emotional. He wanted me to care about his agenda. And so I finally just looked him straight in the eyes and I said, I don't care. And the reaction was so visceral, both emotionally and physically, that I knew that in that moment, I had all the power, the most important power, over myself and my reactions. We weren't playing this game together, and therefore the game was over. A-holes are a wonderful way to identify some of your strengths. Think about it. We haven't come very far from being on the playground where we bullied the kids who had certain degrees of strength, right? I mean, think about how many times bullies would come after nerds. And now you're really wishing, after looking on your social media, that you studied more, didn't you? Yeah, it turned out that them being smart was really not a great reason to bully them. But a-holes will continue to do this to you. They've identified your strength, and now they're trying to get you to believe that it's your weakness. So always pay attention to the things that bother them the most about you, because there's a reason. And often it's because they don't have it. Well, here we are, a whole new week and a whole new opportunity to hopefully do just a little bit better. So for those of you who may had to have apologized to someone last week for saying something out of anger, or for those of you who may have posted something on social media and immediately deleted it, or even those of you who may have just been losing some sleep because you haven't been feeling like yourself, first of all, know that you were not born with the a-hole gene, so this is not your lane. And never, ever, ever let any a-hole get you acting out of character. Come back, kids, if you have some other tips that you'd like to share with our community for how to coexist with a-holes while still staying in character. Join the conversation on social media using the hashtag #ComebackWithEricaCobb.